Tommy Rex, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host. Incarceration, America's rock, metal, and tattoo festival returns this summer with Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, Bad Omens, plus Gojira, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Cypress Hill, The Used, and so many more. Incarceration at the Ohio State Reformatory, July 17th to 19th. Passes on sale now at incarceration.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle. And man, I've already been having a lot of fun talking to this gentleman. So I said, let's get some of this recorded. Talking to Chris McKinney. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me once again. It's a good day. Good day to be here. Good day to talk with a good friend.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, like we were talking about, I seen you on the 420 Chiefs podcast, and I was like, I got to talk to this guy. I got to get him on. I like to get my fellow veterans on to share their stories and what they're doing now, and you know, just the funny shit from our time in. You know.
Yeah. And we all have the funny stories. You don't get through basic training and all that without at least one.
Yeah, exactly. You're issued them right from the get-go, you know.
Yeah.
But usually when I have people on for the first time, I like to go like way back. So do you remember even before, you know, joining the military was on your mind, you know what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Well, really, man, like I was a real free spirit. Like I was kind of a hippie and really like loving, and you know, like I like to draw, I like to play guitar, I like to ride a skateboard, hang out in the woods. Like I was real into like sports, like team sports. And then once I found wrestling, I kind of like transitioned away from team sports, and then I guess that like segued into everything else. But yeah, like I think somewhere along the lines of like life, the military, it kind of turned me into a fighter, and it gave me that grit that I needed to be successful for the time that I was.
Nice. So then when was it that, you felt the calling to serve your country?
Well, so I was in high school or maybe junior high. I was 2001, 9/11 happened, and we were all, under the impression that we were being attacked. And I remember like, me and a couple buddies of mine, like we were wrestlers, we're masculine men, and we felt like some kind of way, like, man, this is our calling. We're healthy. We're tough guys. Like we're willing, like that's probably when the first thought came, and then, I was a troubled kid. I was kind of like wide open, and, there was times that I would get in trouble, and then you talk to your recruiter, and they're how it is. They look clean. They smell good. They got a nice car. And as a poor kid from the slums of West Virginia, you're like, well, shit, there's my way out. Like if that's how I can serve my country, and I could get a cool car and have nice clothes, like that's definitely what I want to do, because who wants to go to college?
Exactly. And then like coming from growing up in West Virginia, and then when you like first experienced like going to basic training, what were some of the oddest things what was the culture shock like for you?
First off, it was absolutely crazy, like, because everywhere you go, like I remember being in like basic training and AIT and all the training that I did, I was always on a military base. And I like for so long, like you kind of get conditioned and you don't even realize that you're conditioned to like wake up, and then you march everywhere. So whenever you get off of the military base after being there for like a year or whatever, couple months, it's like you come out and you're like in culture shock from like all the like chaos almost, and you're just like, man, they're like undisciplined. Yeah, it's like I remember just thinking that like, man, these people are, just not squared away. Like, I can't believe I used to be like that. And now I'm like, shit, I'm those guys sit back. I'm transitioned back to the chaos.
Nice. So what were like some of the oddest things that you thought when you first came in?
Well, the vaccines, like all the stuff that they gave you, and then I was in there with this guy that we nicknamed Pukey, because whatever they gave us, he was sick, bad, bad. And we'd just be hanging out, and he'd like look at us real funny, and then he'd take off running, and we would all just laugh and make fun of him. But listen, this Pukey, wherever you're at, I'm sorry. God bless you. I hope you're all right. But dude, I don't know what happened to him. He stayed sick though the remainder of the time. There was one time where you know how you got to pull like CQ duty, and everybody's like in their bed, and you got to do like chores and stuff. I remember I snuck, me and my battle buddy, and we were gonna sneak and try to do our laundry so we could be like a day ahead and have like some downtime, whatever that is. And you know better. You know that if you get downtime, your drill sergeant's gonna fill it up with some monotonous. Like.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, we were trying to get ahead of it. And like I remember we were down there, and I'm like, all right, Edgley, we gotta go. Like, come on, like it's time to go. And he was like messing around, and I heard drill sergeant like coming, and I was like, yo, he's coming, like I'm out of here. And I was like, if you don't come now, I'm running. And I remember like I took off and I got in the stairwell, and I heard the drill sergeant like light into him. And then he was like, what are you doing down here with that battle buddy? And I was waiting to like hear Edgley if he told on me or not. And he didn't tell on me. And at that moment, I could have went back and been like, I'm here or whatever. But I took off up to the room, and he got smoked so hard. And he came up there and he was soaked. And the look that he gave me, I'm telling you, if you could bottle it up and sell it, you'd be a millionaire. But I remember being like, man, I kind of left him high and dry.
And then what would you say was the one of the worst places you served at?
I mean, I wasn't in the military that long, like, so I just went stateside. Like, I was never off to war. I never did anything crazy. West Virginia, like it was. The worst thing is when I came back here and kind of fell into like a bad crowd. Like it was just I was lost and didn't really like have a lot of direction, which is kind of like what brought me to the military. Like you know how it is, man. I turned 18 in basic training, so they like kind of lured me in. And I literally thought that my recruiter was like my best friend, and he's gonna be like a father figure and keep in touch with me. And it was just load him up, ship him out, and then you don't hear from no one. So
Yeah.
then, I still to this day tell people that basic training is a lot like doing time. Like it's so similar. Like it's just there's no like formations. You don't really like have to exercise so much. Like you're just serving time. But like in basic training, it just reminded me of like jail and prison kind of.
And then what was like your the favorite place that you got to train at when you were in?
I went to this place. It was the Virginia Military Institute or whatever. And I remember I was like a PT stud and a Soldier of the Year nominee. So I got to go with the higher ups and go to all this because we do like practice readings and like side trainings and things. And I would get to go practice basically leading cadences and leading workouts and stuff like that. that was real cool because it was just such a nice facility, and I was young, and they would like let me run stuff, so it kind of like boosted my ego a little bit.
Nice. And then what would you say is something that you always carry with you from your time of service?
Oh man, the relationships and the friendships. Like I still to this day talk to the dudes that I was in basic training with, or that like I served with. It's a brotherhood, you know. It's something that you'll never forget. Like especially being that young, man. Like you know, I became a man with those guys, you know, and a lot of those guys were a little bit older than me, so they would like look out and kind of because you could tell, you know. Like I just imagine now like a 17-year-old, you know, and I'm gonna look out for him because I have like kids at my gym that are 25, and I still look at them as kids. I'm just like, man, you're young. You have no idea. Like it's and you know, at that age, you think you know, and you just don't. You don't have enough experience. Life hasn't really like revealed itself to you. You know, like it's still got that like sheen on it.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've already kind of mentioned talked about Pukey. You talked about leaving your battle buddy from hiding from the drill instructor. But what would you say is like one of the funniest memories you have of your time in?
I mean, really, probably just me and my battle buddy Chance. We were PT studs, like I said, and we had to get this dude Knuckles. I wouldn't say funny, but it was like just like I remember that we had to like he wasn't gonna get to graduate, so we had like this extra detail to go like help him with his run or whatever, and like we helped him, and it was kind of an amazing like moment of camaraderie, I guess. So and like we laughed about it and had like such a good time helping him through, and it was like for a good cause, and whenever he passed his run and got the time, like we're all just, you know, just the three and the four of us were just so happy and so ecstatic, and it was like mission accomplished. Knuckles is getting to go home, you know, like it wasn't even like he's getting to go to his station. We're just like, man, he's gonna get to go home, because you know, like every basic training has those people that like they've been there because they're just messing up and they won't do what they're supposed to do, and it just seems like they're never gonna get to go home, and it seems like they don't even want to go home.
Yeah, yeah, I remember some of those guys for sure. And then what would you say is one of your greatest hopes for the country that you've been willing to give your life for?
There's no hope. We're fucked. No, no, I'm kidding, man. The biggest hope I have, to be honest, and without I mean, it's just like you hear so much about the Lord now, and like I'm a Christian, and I believe that through the grace of Jesus Christ, like I'm allowed to like make mistakes, and he does so much for us in the world, and just to like hear people, it seems like I never heard it back in the day, like or at least like the past decade. It was almost like the being bad was cool, and it's real cool to like see kind of, I mean, it seems like that God's making a comeback. I mean, he's obviously coming
Yeah,
back, but it seems like masculinity is coming back, and just like good, like God fearing men is coming back, and then like just I feel like people are kind of getting sick of the bullshit. Like we were talking about it before you started recording, is like people are getting tired of like being lied to, you know, and then you find out that these people are like stealing kids and eating them and graping them, you know, like it's just, you know, like it just seeing that kind of turn us all against the man and bringing us together. And I see it, man. I see it awakening kind of in America, that we're gonna, you know, the man's man is standing up, and we're doing what's right, and we're standing up, and just like I said, it seems like they're getting really tired of the bullshit, and it's real cool to hear more about God, and people talking about God and finding God, and standing up for what's right, and standing up against I mean, like we were talking about again, the rabbit hole, and
Yeah.
all the conspiracy theorists, well, they're not. They're right. Like I was one of those people, but it's like you thought I was crazy, but hell, even sometimes I thought I was crazy. Turns out that we were all exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. Had the ability to think critically and, not buy into the mass, the MK Ultra, the media, the Mockingbird media,
Yeah, man, you doing you're just being force fed that stuff.
but like you were saying too, it's just like, this is the enemy's world, and now it's like darkness is coming into light and a revival is like taking place. There's days that I get scared. I don't know if it's happening fast enough. It's like I want to see more of those masculine men. I see way too many videos of people just standing around recording like awful things are happening and they're doing nothing but recording, But
put your phone down and pick up a gun and pistol whip that guy.
Yeah. I watched that Punisher, the new episode or whatever, the One Last Kill yesterday. And I was just like, I felt it, man. I felt it,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is these shows are starting to like kind of resonate with us too, because we all grew up watching superheroes, and now you're the hero. It's your turn, and that's how I feel at least. Like it's, God put us here to be thunder sons. Like we're supposed to be men. We're supposed to protect and like the women and the children and provide and teach. And you're not. We shouldn't be the enemy, And then you got the feminine men and they just want to like run and hide, and I don't know. It's sickening to me.
Yeah. And, what's it say in the Bible? What's that verse? Send me, send me, who's going to step up and do, the work here? The what is it? The plows or the fields are full or what, and the workers are few or something like that,
Yeah, and God asks her, what's he say? Who shall I send? And then he's like, send me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
like we have to be the change we want to see in the world. We have to trust that, what God's got us, and I struggle with that daily, man, and I'm a believer, but it's like I still get caught up in that doom, that doom algorithm in my head sometimes, like you said at the beginning when you were joking, you said we're fucked. Well, I get stuck thinking that as well, but if we are, I want to go out on my feet. The only way I'm going on my knees is to pray before, to God.
And that's the thing is like, that's the advice that I give to anybody that feels like that. Like that's that's literally a human reaction, is to kind of like see that and to be like, oh man, this is so bad. But in that, it has to piss you off enough to be like, man, I'm not going to be one of these people that sits around and complains about it. I'm going to get up, I'm going to put 10 toes in the dirt, and I'm going to walk it down. That's how I feel about that's why I own a Jiu-Jitsu Academy. That's why I do these podcasts and I say what I want about our government and, like the marijuana thing. I think it's finally like it's time to stand up. It's bullshit. Like it really is. It's not 1950s anymore. This isn't reefer madness. You were wrong about marijuana. You're wrong about you're wrong for selling the alcohol. You're wrong for selling the cigarettes. You're wrong for making these kids fat and lazy. Take away the iPads, take away the fast food, take away the fucking sugar. You want to know why little Johnny has autism? It's because you've been consuming mass quantities of alcohol and sugar, and you don't have a baby because the men's testosterone's so low. Until it's just, I don't know. It's just on top. My brain just got so frazzled because there was so much coming in. I'm just like, again, the point is that it should piss you off and you should get up and do something about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just sit there and be part of the fucking problem.
Now, what do you feel like we can do to break the stigma of PTSD and mental health?
I think we need things like the WW 420 and things like that. Like we need to have get-togethers. We need to have like you need to be able to reach out. We need to do things like this and talk to our fellow veterans. We need to talk about cannabis. We need to be able to talk about our just our like knee-jerk reactions without being judged. You need safe places to talk. You need safe places to express yourself. You need safe places to consume cannabis and not be like demonized for it, like or to be like, oh, look how messed up he is. Like marijuana is not an anti-inhibitor. It's not that. It's not. That's not how it works. That's not what it does.
So when you transitioned out of the military, like when did cannabis come into your life, and what's that journey been like?
Well, okay, so I was using cannabis. That's why, like, I failed a piss test in the military. Like I said, I was a basic training stud. Like I came to my unit and I was a Soldier of the Year nominee. I was going to be a drill sergeant, and then I had like some mental illness, and I was like kind of depressed. I've always struggled with depression and like suicidal thoughts and tendencies. And when I would smoke, like it would kind of help and kind of calm those thoughts down. And whenever I failed the piss test, like it kind of I just felt betrayed, like so it's kind of like after they kicked me out for that, I was just like, man, I'm dedicated to this. Like I believe in this. I believe in this plant. Like and all the old heads that are telling you all this stuff, and you're at first you're like, man, this guy's crazy. He just wants to smoke weed, and then you get older and you're using it medicinally, and then I mean I'm not even gonna say I only use it medicinally. Like there's no bad with it. Like I feel better, like I can relax. Food tastes better. Like there's no addictive properties. Like it's literally like I said, God don't make mistakes, folks. But your
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals, your scientists, they fuck up all the time. And
Yeah.
just for the record, that vaccine thing, you were all wrong. I was right. I just seen a thing the other day. This guy took all those vaccines and the COVID thing, and he's like laid over, literally like barely breathing. And he was like one of the people was like, get back, save everybody, or save your damn self. Because
Yeah,
you're
put the
laying
little
up
frame on his Facebook thing, like
Yeah.
everybody, I got my booster. Do your part. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I
I
never
mean, they
bought.
shot us up with enough shit when we were active,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You remember I remember walking in to the freaking, like a room, and there's like two lines, this way and this way, not the butt. And you're getting stuck in the arm on this side. You turn the corner, walk this way, and you're getting stuck in the arm on that side.
Yep. And then as you started like looking into, because like I'm in recovery, I'm 17 years sober because alcohol, was
Right.
I'm
Because
allergic.
it's okay for you to have a beer because of the
Yeah,
commercial
yeah.
said so.
I make a lot of poor choices when I drink. A lot of, I end up in handcuffs and shit. But when I'm in this, recovery journey, and the thing that I run into though is because I'm sober and I'm working a program, they got some people that they're Cali sober, but a lot of the old timers will say, well, you're not really sober then, and it's just like, dude, if I'm constantly in pain, because of serving, or I'm dealing with anxiety, or I can't shut my brain off so I can go to sleep, and I can find something that's more natural that can help me do that, and I'm not even trying to get high, how does that mean I'm not sober? I'm still living sober minded,
Well, so this is my thing is if you're burnt, like if you burn your hand, right, and put it on a stove, I got this blister, and then you have like my grandma used to have an aloe vera plant right there. You get burnt out, put on aloe vera, put it on there, helps and heals. Am I a drug user?
Hey, Chris. Yeah. Well, yeah, like, like you said, it's just like the big pharma does more harm than good. We got a plant that, a seed bearing plant that God created for us. And if you're not sitting there looking to get high, you're just sitting there, just trying to have a better quality of life. Where's the problem? All right. Yeah. So thanks for going outside. We were losing you in there, or Big Brother doesn't like us talking.
That's what I was about to say. It was the devil and the government. They don't like us talking about God and holistic medicines.
So, like, you said that you always kind of been an advocate for cannabis, and that's why your military career ended. But when did you start like really getting into like alternative medicine and healing?
Well, so jujitsu really helped me with that because you couldn't really, like, you would get injured. You know what I'm saying? Like as a professional grappler, like you get injured, you you want like the quickest, the best, and something that's not gonna like lag on you and bother you for days or weeks. So like holistic medicines and just natural ways, and through that, like I started drinking like ginger tea and turmeric teas and like roots whenever I was getting sick. Um, and then I started going to play like farms and getting like milk and eating like clean meat. And I went to Vegas for the high roller, and I blew my knee out one time. Everybody was like, "Man, like that's a bad injury." And my mentality with this jujitsu is that like if I'm hurt, I just and I'm able, like obviously, like if my arm's hanging off, I'm not gonna be able to train. But I don't go to the doctor much, and I don't I don't like wrap myself up. I don't take a lot of medicines. So whenever I blew my knee out, I started like looking into like collagen and like things like that. And I started drinking like 10 liters of bone marrow and collagen because they were telling me they were gonna have to operate on my knee. And I'm mid 30s. I'm like, man, I don't want a knee replacement. Like this could really kind of put a damper in my career. So I started exploring like food being health for medicine, and then
Yeah.
you know like I grew up that way as well. Like you gotta think I'm from the mountains of West Virginia. Like that's what we do. That's my grandma did that. My grandparents they made moonshine was medicine, like honey was medicine.
Yeah. So, like, as what kind of led you into? I know you mentioned you wrestled in high school and stuff, but what kind of guided you into jujitsu and grappling?
Well, cannabis. I was selling cannabis, and I got busted. And the guy that busted me knew me. I kind of had a reputation for being a firecracker, and then I was wearing a wrestling T-shirt, and he was just like, "Listen, man, like this ain't the route. Like you can come, and I got this jujitsu gym." And like initially, I was just like, "Man, this corny ass cop, like he ain't gonna tell me what to do." So I took the charge and just kind of went on about my life. And I went to college for like a couple years because we all know how that scam goes. And I started like a grappling thing, and it ended up like skipping class, more or less, like skipping everything just to grapple. And like I ended up coming back and like go to that jiu-jitsu school. And like I had long hair and me and the guy like trim my own. So I started my own like little grappling thing, and I ended up like skipping like everything just to grapple. I came back to join the jiu-jitsu gym that the cop had like told me about. And me and that guy ended up being like best friends. And you know, I never left jiu-jitsu, and from that point on, I just dedicated my life to that.
Nice, nice. So then, as you started training jujitsu, when did you get exposed to high rollers?
So I was a black belt, and I had like just started kind of like traveling out west to do some things, and my manager called me and was telling me about this. You know how it was called War Games, and they're doing like it was a marijuana friendly get together, more or less, like to raise awareness about not only athletes that like and breaking the stigma for marijuana, not only the athletes, but as well as like soldiers, just kind of trying to get everybody off the pills and off the antidepressants, and just again like kind of like breaking the stigma. Like, look, dude, this is not what marijuana is. We've all been brainwashed. You know, this is what it really is. You can't be an athlete. You can't be a productive member of society. This is medicine, and this is the right way. This is the way God intended it. He wants us to heal what is in nature. He does not want us to chemically finagle with stuff and mess our DNA up and our centers and all that. Because it's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, long story short, that's how I just did that. Went to the high rollers to raise awareness and you know, break the stigma about marijuana. And then now our goal is basically we go every year out to Master Worlds, and I take at least 7 or 8 students out there. And my girlfriend won last year, and before that, my buddy Doc, who's a Harvard grad and owns the cancer center here, he got 3rd.
Oh, nice. That's out in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. This is the biggest jiu-jitsu tournament in the world. It's called Jiu-Jitsu Con Master Worlds.
Yeah, I knew some people from my old school used to go there every year. Now, how did you get, like, you know, I know you like got exposed to high rollers, but then how do you go about like making it like are they like a sponsor for your gym or an affiliate for you as a coach?
No, high rollers is just an event that they put on. And I mean, like I said, my manager knew him, and then through like going down there, I created just kind of like a rapport with them, and we just became friends. And they call me about like the War Games when they do that. So basically, yeah, whenever when they do the War Games, I call that's it's specifically veterans coming down and competing against each other and getting together, and you know, you smoke, you talk, you hang out, and then you compete.
Nice. And then like when did you start your own school or start coaching?
So I've been coaching and kind of like running things since I was like a purple belt. I used to do for my professor, but then like the scene, as we would like leave and travel to train and get better, the scene kind of like died down, and there's like some schools, but it seems like they're all like hobbyist schools. They don't do the hard-nosed traditional way. And again, I don't have anything against that, but the jiu-jitsu that I fell in love with, and it's hard-nosed, you know, so for me there's no substitute for that. So about 2019 I started my own academy, and I made up
Damn it.
Yeah, the slogan, same species, different animal. So, I mean, we all live by that. Like, so I have a saying, as I told him last time, I say this every day at the end of training. I'm like, put God first, work on yourself every day, and bust your butt of everything you touch. Just work your hardest. And the same species, different animal moniker is just like, yeah, we're all like human, but the animal inside of us, like, do you have that drive? Do you have that work ethic? Do you have that want to get better physically, mentally, spiritually? Like here in Arte Suave's band, one goal, and that's to be better somehow, some way, every day. And man, I have
Yeah.
so many veterans in here because of that. And it's just, to me, it's a blessing to be surrounded by such awesome people. And you know, that's just the way we live our life. Like we take pride in it, and it means something because it's hard. You know, if it was easy, everybody would get it and everybody would come, and I'd be I'd have, you know, 100,000 students, but I don't. I have like 100, and like we're all on the same page. There's no snakes, there's no fakes. We're all just.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I try and be, a little bit better today than I was yesterday, That's kind of the way I try and live. But you'd mentioned too, like during, like we talked about, like when back in 2020 during the pandemic and they were shutting everybody down, you refused to shut down. You stayed open. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, I mean, the majority of the city was calling me a monster. I mean, there were people attacking me on Facebook, but then there was this whole other like closet crowd that like sung me as a hero. They were like, man, I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have Arte Suave, right? Like, and I'm not gonna put anybody out there, but like a lot of students like that came to me, and when everything opened back up, they went back to their place, but they still pay homage to me. Like I still every now and then they'll hit me up and tell me thank you or that I saved their life. And I mean that's what it's about, man. Like I said, I don't care about getting rich. I care about moving in God's will and doing God's work and just being a good man and doing what's right and being a good example for my son. You know, somebody that he can look up to. That's extremely important to me.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So what's going through it, coming out the other end, like you said, and kind of seeing the things that when we trust God and God's plan, God got us through that time and we ended up being right. But what's now it's almost like the media is starting to prepare us for the sequel, what's going on right now. What do you see you and your school doing going forward?
Stay the course, stay the plan. I mean, we're going to Worlds in Vegas again this year. We've got more people going this year. If they shut that down, then they're going to train and we're going to train, stick together. Like we have farmers, butchers, our academy, man, we could literally build like a commune somewhere and we'd survive without anyone. So, I mean, if all this happens again, it's the same thing. I'm staying the course. I'm not gonna have the wool pulled over my eyes. I'm not falling for the same trick twice. You know, it just I'm gonna put God first, and I'm gonna do jujitsu. I'm gonna raise my son, raise my family, take care of my family and my team.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I love to hear that. Yeah, I definitely love to make a trip down there sometime, and maybe I'll see if my fat ass will fit back into my my rash guards.
Yeah. If not,
But,
man, buy a big one and hang those up for your goals.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure, man. I've been like my daughter's been wanting to get back into competing, so I'll be supporting her, and I know that's kind of the whole like, man, if you want her to go do it or she wants to do it, it was funner when Dad was with her. So I gotta get back out there, you know. Yeah, Chris. Hey, man, I appreciate your time, man. Talking with you, we definitely got to keep in touch. Despite all the technical difficulties and everything going on, man, I gotta, it was a good message, man. I'm looking forward to what's ahead for you guys.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties too. I don't know what's going on. But let's do it again sometime, and we'll talk about like current events. We can talk on that.
For sure, man. For sure. I got your we're friends on Facebook now, so I'll send you some of the past episodes I did that I think you'll enjoy.
Yeah, and I'll make a trip to Cleveland. That way we don't have to worry about technical difficulties. We'll have face to face.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, thanks again for your time, Chris. You take care, man.
All right, brother. God bless you guys.
Bye-bye.
Listen up! Hold on to your seats. Grab your girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelt.